Hello, everyone. My team, which consists of Emily, Shay, Tanner, and myself, are going to be talking about the strong political machines and the widespread government corruption that they created. First off, I'm going to talk about the condition before the reforms and bills were passed. Now, these political machines controlled all levels of city government, and they controlled many different business opportunities. But the most important part was they decided who was hired for many government jobs. Now, this created a problem because most people that were hired were usually not qualified for the job they were taking. And they made incredibly large amounts of money. Now on to Emily talking about the reform after all the bills were passed.
Three things that were created after reform included initiatives, referendums, and recalls. Initiatives allowed people to propose and pass a law without involving state legislator. They must have a certain amount of people sign a petition, and if it is voted on election day, it becomes a law. The next thing, similar to initiatives, was referendums. Referendums were a law made and passed by state legislators, and it is put on the ballot to be approved or rejected by the voters. Finally is recalls. The American people had the power to remove an elected official before their term is up, and voters must sign a petition and get enough signatures to hold a special election. The reformed law that came out of this was the Pendleton Act. It was an act passed by Congress which set guidelines for hiring government workers. It required everyone to pass a test, and the jobs that were on this test were specified by the current president. Over time, this test covered more and broad. Now most government jobs are based on merit.
The objective of this lesson is that you understand the importance of guidelines that we have in place for hiring government workers. There's a resource here that will help you understand the history behind these political machines, and also an activity where you separate the class into two groups, one acting as the political machine, the other acting as the citizens. In this example, the political machines, or the students acting as them, will try and be as corrupt as possible when interacting with the other group. Next is a propaganda poster. It's basically just an example of an interview who normally would hire the horse because he likes horses, but he realizes that now he can no longer do that because of laws for hiring based on merit.
And our final slide is the meme that we have created. It is about Joe Biden saying, "Will you shut up, man?" Because everybody knows that political machines are not beneficial. So when someone says that they were beneficial, you just tell them to shut up. And now we're going to be moving on our skit with our narrator and three senators.
Pre-reform politics were controlled hugely by what is known as political machines, or in other words, political organizations who provided social services and jobs in exchange for votes. Here we see three senators discussing a solution to the problem.
The corruption in our city has gone too far. It is impossible to get anything done when you don't have any connections.
Wealth in the city is very unevenly distributed among the people, which is causing a lot of problems for small businesses.
The power that they have kills the meaning of our democracy. People who aren't as connected don't have the power to make a change in the community.
There needs to be a way for us to make this come to us. There needs to be a way for us to make this come to a stop. Our government is getting filled by people who aren't qualified for the job because they know the person in power.
We need to try and allow hiring government workers.
I agree. This bill can require more testing in the hiring process for the best person fit to take the job to be hired. I say we name it the Pendleton Act.
6 months later, the bill is finally passed.
I can't believe we finally got the Pendleton Act passed.
Yeah, we can finally have truthful and qualified government leaders.
The end.